Greetings, everyone. Hope everyone had a great holiday season. All right. Good afternoon. Thank you for attending. Excuse me. Thank you for attending the pre-proposal conference for the Security Operations Center for Local Government Entities, RFP number 2024-09. My name is Renee Tabb, and I am the Enterprise Sourcing Specialist at VITA and your single point of contact for this RFP. Before we get started, I first want to make sure that everyone can see my screen. If you cannot, please place it in the chat. Pollock, if anyone can't see the presentation, please let me know. All right. For record keeping purposes, please take a moment to enter your company name in the chat. We ask that only one person from your firm sign in. So please take a moment. One person from your firm, please sign into the chat. All right, while we're doing that, I would like to let everyone know that we will, if you have any questions, you may add your questions to the chat. We will not answer any questions in this pre-proposal conference. We will collect all of the questions at the end, and we will work with the business owner to answer those questions, and those responses will be released via a Q&A in the next few days, along with the recording of this conference, as well as a list of attendees. All right. Today, we'll start with the background about VITA, then we will go over the present situation and the scope of the RFP. Next, we'll walk through the RFP package, and then we'll finish with some logistics like the timeline, reminders, and tips, etc. Looks like we have a few people coming in. All right, this conference is provided for informational purposes only. In all cases, documents posted publicly in EVA supersede anything that is stated in this conference. This conference, both the audio and presentation, is being recorded and may be posted publicly. An attendee list will be posted in EVA. For those who just joined, please take a moment to have one person from your firm sign into the chat. We ask that one person from your firm sign into the chat. Again, if you have any questions, please add those questions to the chat. We will not answer any questions during the conference. However, we will review them, provide a response that will be posted via Q&A and EVA. All right, let's go over a little bit of background about VITA. VITA is the Commonwealth's centralized information technology organization charged with delivering sustainable and effective results for our customers through innovative, efficient, and secure services. Our responsibilities fall into 4 primary categories. First, we're responsible for operation of the IT infrastructure for the executive branch agencies of the Commonwealth, governance of IT investments in support of the duties and responsibilities of the Chief Information Officer of the Commonwealth, governance of the Commonwealth's information security programs, and lastly, procurement of information technology for VITA on behalf of the 65+ state agencies and institutions of higher education. All right. Next, we will go over our present situation and our scope. Our present situation is that VITA and VITIM, which is the Department of Emergency Management, are administering VITA's participation in the state and local cybersecurity grant program, which we call the SLCGP, under which a combination of federal grant money and state-provided matching funds will be used to assist state and local public entities with improving their cybersecurity posture. VITA's participation in the SLCGP is the primary driver for issuing this RFP. Virginia's SLCGP participation is overseen by the Virginia Cybersecurity Planning Committee. This committee is developed as a part of the Virginia Cybersecurity Plan. Both the committee and the plan are prerequisites for using the SLCGP funding. The plan outlines a vision of a cybersecurity ecosystem supporting a whole of state approach for state and local governments to safeguard critical infrastructure, protect Virginians' data, which is key, and ensure the continuity of essential services. In support of the Virginia Cybersecurity Plan, goal number 2, threat monitoring, VITA is seeking providers of Security Operations Center services for local governments, tribal governments, and public education institutions to provide monitoring and auditing services to their environments. The primary users of this service will include local governments as defined by the Homeland Security Act of 2002. Local government is defined as a county, municipality, city, town, township, local public authority, school district, special district, intrastate district, council of governments, regardless of whether the council of governments is incorporated as a nonprofit corporation under state law, regional or interstate government entity or agency or instrumentally of a local government. Second, an Indian tribe or authorized tribal organization, or in Alaska, a native village or Alaska Regional Native Corporation. 3, a rural community, unincorporated town or village, or other public entity. A public education institution, elementary school, a secondary school, or institution of higher education, if it is an agency or instrumentality of a state or local government under state and or local law. And lastly, any state or local government entity pursuant under the Virginia Code 2.2-4304. Please note that this RFP does not include executive branch agencies of the Commonwealth. They are not eligible to procure goods or services off of these contracts. It is only for local government entities as described on the slide. Okay, so our present situation continues with Virginia consists of about 133 counties and independent cities, 11 state recognized tribal governments, 134 school divisions, and 15 public institutions of higher education. Additionally, Virginia has more than 100 plus entities that meet the definition of a municipality, town, local public authority, special district, intrastate district, council of governments, regional or interstate government agency, or instrumentality of a local government. It is very important to remember that any of the above entities that are not mandated to utilize the services outlined in this RFP. All right, next we're going to talk a little bit about our RFP scope. The Commonwealth of Virginia is seeking a supplier to provide a managed security operations center for local government entity. This RFP and any resulting contracts are not for use by Commonwealth of Virginia executive branch agencies. Please keep that in mind. The Managed Security Operations Center will include necessary tools, relevant process, and a team of IT security professionals to perform 24/7, 365 security monitoring of local government and government-affiliated entities, infrastructure, and applications. The supplier will provide security incident event management, the SIEM, and corresponding tools to collect information from the entity's environment. The tool sets used should be capable of integrating with the local government entity's environment. The supplier will operate a security operations center that will address the following. The primary objective is to monitor, detect, analyze, respond to cybersecurity incidents, investigate, triage, contain, mitigate, and resolve security events and incidents as appropriate, manage communications with local government entities, VITA, and identify security investigation contacts related to services and security activities. I would ask that everyone mute their mics, please. As I continue, onboard and offboard entities to the SOC environment and receive reports from entities about potential malicious activity. Provide technology and services to collect data for the SOC from a diverse technology environment across many different localities and other government affiliated entities. Lastly, the supplier will provide services that are flexible, cost-effective, transparent, and elastic to meet the local government entity's needs. All right. Next, we're going to go over the RFP package. We're going to go kind of section by section of the RFP instructions document. And again, if you have any questions, please make sure to add those to the chat. We will answer those questions. We will provide responses to your questions through a Q&A over the next couple of days. The RFP package does include instructions, a copy of the master contract, pricing, and several other documents. Today, we're going to concentrate on the RFP instructions document, Appendix C, pricing schedule, and Appendix G. Give me 1 second. All right. Today, we will go through the RFP instructions document, and this document is titled RFP 202409 Instructions for SOC for Local Government Entities, version 12/17/24. All right, this document, along with the other documents shown in the previous slide, were posted in EVA on December 17, 2024. The current closing date for the RFP is January 31st, 2025 at 4:00 p.m. Please be mindful that no proposals will be accepted after that time. I don't want to make you guys dizzy as I scroll through, so bear with me. All right. Section 1, the introduction, it describes the purpose of this RFP and what we hope to accomplish through the RFP process. It also provides some background information on VITA, which we discussed earlier. As mentioned before, we are looking for a a SaaS or cloud-based service to provide security operations center services for local government entities. The supplier must offer a security operations center that includes all of the functions that are listed in the RFP. VITA plans to make multiple awards as a result of this RFP. The resulting contract or contracts will be set up as a statewide contract through VITA and published on the VITA website. This contract will be available for optional use by all local government entities in the source and scope on the cover page of this document. So remember, any resulting contract cannot be used by executive branch agencies, only local government entities. We will move to section 2, the proposal instructions and administration. This section provides detailed instructions on how to respond to the RFP. It provides the administrative procedures and guidelines for preparing a proposal. I won't be going through every subsection, but I will touch on a few main categories. So the first thing that we're going to touch on is liability. As listed in this section, the receipt of a proposal in response to this RFP does not bind VITA legally or financially in any way. All right. The next one that we want to touch on is the proposal protocol. This section provides specifics on the number of copies of your proposal to submit, as well as the medium of submission. For this RFP, only electronic proposals will be accepted through EVA. We will not accept any hand-delivered, mail, email, or faxed proposals. They must be submitted electronically through EVA by the due date listed of January 31st, 2024 at 4:00 p.m.
Renee, not to interrupt you, but if you are intending to be sharing the document, we're all still seeing slide deck.
I apologize. Thank you. I thought I was sharing the screen. Thank you.
Renee, the last slide is RFP package. If you want to move it to the current slide.
Yeah. No, we're good. I just need to present the document, which I thought I was sharing the screen, but I obviously was not. Okay, and that's not the screen I want to share.
Thank you.
Thank you for pointing that out. I was just rolling along. All right. Okay. All righty. Okay. Next, we're going to move to the next section, which is the evaluation process. This describes the evaluation process followed by VITA when evaluating the proposals. All right. The next section is the evaluation factors that we consider during the process. Please pay close attention to the must-have factors listed in this section. As mentioned in subsection O, all must-have factors are evaluated on a met or not met basis. Any proposal that does not meet all of the must-have factors will be disqualified and receive no further consideration. And our must-have is the proposal must be received by the due date and time. We will not accept any late proposals. All right. The next thing we have listed here are the evaluation criteria for the RFP. These are the criteria to which we will review and score your proposal. Next, we will talk about the EVA procurement portal. Make sure to check EVA periodically for any amendments to the RFP that may be posted. Answers to questions received from suppliers will be posted on EVA as well. Again, we have a current Q&A that is in process that we are working on because we did receive several questions before this meeting. We are working to answer those questions and provide responses. Any questions that are received today will be included in that Q&A and will be posted in the next several days. Again, if an amendment is posted, please review the amendment, sign them, and include them in your proposal package. Again, it is imperative that you check EVA on a regular basis, as we will be providing updates through that medium. All right. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about the projected timeline. The RFP was released on the 17th. Today, of course, we are holding the pre-proposal conference. The deadline for all questions is January 21st, 2025 at 4:00 p.m. I do want to address one thing. You may submit questions from now up until the 21st. We will take our time to provide you the responses through updated Q&As. We try to provide responses to Q&As at least once a week. So any questions that you submit to us, please give us a few days to review, as some of your questions could result in an addendum. There was a instance where I think someone had an idea they could not, they would have to wait until after the 21st to get a response to the questions. No, you may submit questions from this moment up until the 21st, and we will provide you with regular updated responses. Make sure to submit a complete proposal. Do not assume that you can address or resubmit anything during the negotiation phase. So this is your opportunity to put your best foot forward. So on the 31st at 4:00, what you submit is your best. All right, we'll move along to section 3, the document. The proposal format. This section sets forth the specific format that a supplier must follow when preparing and submitting a proposal. In the previous section, we mentioned how the proposal will be submitted. This section describes the contents and the deliverables to be included in the proposal. Please review Table 2 of the proposal format information. It has a large amount of information, but it specifically tells you what to return with your proposal. Please make sure that you review and submit the appropriate documentation with your proposal. And any addendums that are issued must be included as well. Okay, we have requested that you submit a redacted copy of your proposal with all confidential or proprietary information redacted. If you don't have any confidential information, please submit a statement saying that you do not have any confidential information. All right, you cannot mark your entire proposal as confidential, and you cannot mark your pricing as confidential, as we're a public organization and we have to adhere to all FOIA requests. In case of a FOIA request, we will distribute your redacted proposal. So it is key that you provide a redacted proposal, and it is key that you understand that you cannot label your entire proposal or the pricing as confidential. All right, so the next area that we will discuss is the present situation. We mentioned some of that earlier in the presentation. Again, it just provides some background information on the need for the Security Operations Center services. It relates, this RFP is a direct result of a grant, the SLCGP grant, as well as potential users of the proposed service. Again, I want to make sure everyone understands that it is not available to executive branch agencies. Please note that this section is not intended to set forth any requirements. It is just for general information. All right. Section 5, the functional and technical requirements. This section points out to an Excel spreadsheet, Appendix G. It's titled Appendix G, RFP 2024-09, SOC for localities requirements. And then there's also an Appendix F, and it's the standard form 1-003 for CovRamp assessment version 14. All right, so right now I'm going to make an attempt to share with you Appendix G, and we can go over that. Give me 1 second. All right, so this is Appendix G. This is where you will find all of the requirements of the RFP. All right, this spreadsheet presents detailed functional, technical, and security requirements that we're looking for from the proposed service. The tab title contents lists the categories of the requirements, and the rest of the tabs have the requirements listed in questionnaire format. Detailed instructions on how to respond to the requirements are provided in the tab titled Instructions. Right, to respond, okay, there we go. All right, so these are all this is the tab that provides information on how to respond to the requirements. All right. To respond to, and tab number 2 describes any definitions that you may need to review when you are going through your requirements. Tabs 3 through 10 include all of the requirements that we need to carry out the services requested. All right, you will see here that we have the requirement in column C, response in column D, and explanation in column E. So I'll go into detail with that. Column C has the requirement listed. Column D allows you to select from a drop-down list. You will select either yes, future, or no. Yes stands for yes. Means that you can meet this requirement fully right now. F means that it is future. You will be able to fully meet the requirements in 6 months from the date of the proposal, or no, or N, which means no. You cannot meet the requirement and have no plans to meet it within the next 6 months. You can use column E to demonstrate how this will be accomplished, or provide a link or references to attachments that you can attach to your proposal to add further explanation. You can also use this space to provide links to a demo if applicable, if available. If you are including a demo, then please make sure that the username and password for the demo is valid for at least 3 months. Your responses to the questions will be used to evaluate the extent that the proposal satisfies the requirements. It is not enough to simply reply yes, no, or future in column D. You must demonstrate how you will accomplish this requirement. If one supplier only answers yes, no, or future, and another supplier provides detailed descriptions or attachments, then the latter will probably score higher. If left blank, then we will assume that the answer is no. All right. Right, that concludes this document. Next, we will move to Appendix F, and I will just briefly touch on that. All right, this is Appendix F. This is the CovRamp document. It is key that you complete this and hold on to it. Please complete this document and hold on to it hold on, wait a minute, I may be saying something wrong. No, please complete this and submit with your proposal. Please submit this document and submit with your proposal. I come from another agency where we didn't do that, so I want to make sure I'm giving you the correct information. At VITA, we ask that you complete and submit this document with your proposal as well. We will return to our RFP instructions document. And we will move to Section 6. Section 6 is the supplier profile. This is where we request specific information about your company, like your financial information, your experience level, your references. This information will be used in the evaluation process. So please review this section thoroughly and provide the responses as requested. As you can see, it does have quite a bit of information and a lot of detailed information that we're looking for in your response. All right. All right. Next, section 7, the subcontracting plan. This is included as here. It is included in this document as Appendix B. We have an initiative within the state to strengthen spend to SWAM businesses, and we consider that small, women, and minority-owned businesses. And that includes small, service-disabled, veteran-owned businesses as well. If you are a SWAM business, make sure that you are registered with the Virginia Department of Small Business and Diversity, which we call DSBSD. At the time of submission of your proposal, you will need to include your DSBSD certificate number with your proposal. This information will also be considered in the evaluation process. All right. Okay, next we're going to talk about the pricing information. I want to share that document with you. Please bear with me 1 second. All right. Okay, this spreadsheet is also posted in EVA under the RFP. The name of the document is Appendix C, Pricing Schedule for RFP 2024-09, SOC for local government entities. This spreadsheet is what you'll use to submit your pricing. I will be spending a few minutes to review. In this spreadsheet, the first tab is titled Instructions. Basically, it just tells you how to fill out the spreadsheet and what we're looking for. The second tab is titled SOC Costs, which is where you will provide the costs associated with SOC services. This includes key personnel needed to perform the services, implementation, and training costs. I've created a template for you to fill out for your pricing. You may use this template, or you may supply your own, but we do ask that you make sure you submit a pricing breakdown to the level of detail and transparency that we're looking for. So you can create your own pricing sheet, but it needs to include all of the information or attributes that are listed in this tab. All right. The next tab is application costs. Again, we created a template for you to fill out. Feel free to use this or supply your own. Again, we're looking for, maintenance costs, subscription costs, implementation and onboarding costs, and the training costs here these are one-time fees. So please be mindful of that. And we're also looking for training costs on an ongoing basis. All right, and again, you may create your own, just ensure that all of the attributes listed here are addressed. The next tab is the rate card. This tab is used to document resources required to carry out the project. All right, the next tab is the alternate pricing. This is available in case you do not wish to use a template. And again, you can add an alternate pricing model here if you do not want to use our pricing template, but you must include it in this document, and this is where you will do that. If you need to add additional tabs, that is fine. All right, the last tab is the optional or additional services tab. This is where you'll list any additional or optional services offered by the supplier. Please make sure that your pricing is valid for 240 calendar days. If you want to reserve the option to withdraw the pricing during the period, it must be clearly stated in the proposal. Please note that when you propose your pricing, you must account for the industrial funding adjustment collected by VITA and current EVA transaction fees collected by EVA. Information about the IFA and, where to find these additional specific fees is listed in the instructions tab of the spreadsheet. So we're going to return to the RFP instructions document. All right, next we're going to talk about the VITA standard contract. And I believe the name of that is the master contract in EVA. This talks about the resulting agreement that will be defined by a written and signed contract. A copy of VITA's standard contract has been provided on EVA as a part of this posting. If you do not agree with any of the language listed, please use Appendix E to submit the current language and list your proposed language. VITA has included 2 additional exhibits, and it relates to ownership of applications that will be used to execute the SOC services. The first is Exhibit L, additional cloud service terms and conditions for supplier that is the application owner. So if you're the owner of the application or any of the applications used to carry out the service, you will complete Appendix L. The next is Exhibit L. The next is Exhibit M, and that is the additional cloud terms and conditions for third-party owned applications. If for some reason you are using a third-party application to carry out the SOC services, you will need to complete this document as well. And there may be a situation where you are submitting both, but please look at those documents and determine which applies to you and submit that with your proposal as well. All right, we're going to go back to our little handy presentation. Okay. There was a lot of information that was just shared. Please review the documents carefully. If you have any questions, please feel free to submit them to me via email. All right. There is one question towards the end within the links. Excuse me, guys, sorry. There is a question, I want to say in appendix, I'm sorry. There's one question here I did not share with you guys. And I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So give me 1 second to share that again. All right. There is a question here that's going to talk about requirements, mandatory contract terms. All right, so within these questions, we ask that you review these questions, respond yes or no, include this chart and your response within your proposal as well. Some of our terms and conditions are non-negotiable, so it's a yes or a no. So please pay close attention to this table. Please respond yes or no and include the entire table within your response. All right. And let's see, the VITA statutory mandated terms and conditions. Those are mandatory terms and conditions. You will find links here. Those are non-negotiable. All right. Please make sure that you review the EVA terms and conditions and understand the EVA transaction fees. And last but not least, the third, the IRS publications document is mandatory. Please make sure you are completing that and submitting that as well. All right, and that is all that I have to share for that document. All right, next we're going to talk a little bit about review the response format and timing. Reminder, guidance regarding submission can be found in Section 2, Letter L, that outlines the proposal protocol. And section 3 is the proposal format. And this information is found within the RFP instructions document. Electronic proposals must be submitted through EVA before the due date and due time. We will not accept late proposals. This is important. Please do not wait until the last minute to submit your proposal. We've had instances where we're not receiving the information and it's not enough time to resubmit. Please plan ahead and make sure to submit your proposal in time, just in case you need to contact EVA customer care with any issues or concerns related to EVA, as we cannot assist you with submitting your proposal. You would have to contact EVA customer care. EVA customer care information can be found at www.eva.virginia.gov. All right, next we're going to talk a little bit. We addressed the RFP schedule, but I wanted to provide a little bit of information here, additional information. Again, the RFP was posted on December 17th, 2024. We are having our pre-proposal conference right now. The deadline again for all questions is January 21st, 2025 at 4:00 p.m. And again, you may submit questions from now until the 21st at 4:00 p.m. We will address them via a Q&A at least once a week. The deadline for submitting a response to this RFP is January 31st, 2025 at 4:00 p.m. VITA is on a tight timeline and schedule for this RFP, so I do not foresee any extension of the due date in time. We plan to evaluate all of our proposals in Q1 of 2025, and we expect to negotiate and award a contract between March and April of 2025. Okay. So I want to give you a few tips. Please, again, check EVA regularly for any amendments, Q&A, and any updates. Ensure that all required materials are included in your response. Please review the RFP instructions document to make sure that you're including all of the documents. We reviewed the table, and I want to make sure you guys understand what is needed in your proposal package. All right, as we prepare to close out of the conference, please remember that following this call, all questions must be directed to me via email. Again, I'm the single point of contact for this RFP. My contact information is listed. Supplier Q&A will be posted to EVA, like it says periodically, but I try to make sure I do that once a week. Amendments will be posted in EVA. Again, the deadline for all proposals is January 31st, 2025 at 4:00 p.m. We will be posting a list of attendees on EVA shortly. Please be sure to look at the RFP posting periodically for any amendments or changes. All right. Thank you so much thanks to everyone for registering and dialing in. I know it was a lot of information in a short amount of time. All right, this concludes the supplier teleconference for RFP 2024-09 Security Operations Center for local government entities. At this time, I will ask that anyone who joins late that you would please allow one person from your firm to add your firm name to the chat. If you have any questions, please add those questions to the chat. We will review them, provide responses, and post those responses as a Q&A in EVA. All right. We appreciate your time, and we look forward to reviewing your response. Thank you, and have a great day.